Would you like to know more?
Okay, welcome to the Warmaster Podcast, episode 13, I believe, of Adventures in 3D Printing. Today we are going to look at a Bio Titan that I printed. We're going to have to struggle a little bit with fixed cameras, so I'm going to have to change them. I'll tell you what happened with the prints, because there's a few bits of Tyranids that I've printed. So the first thing I printed was the body, and there was a layer shift. It was printed, the tail was the flattest bit on the print bed here, so that was what I raised and had a raft from. And so you can see it shifted. There, you can see it there. Can you? What's that? So that's probably 2 or 3 mil. It's shifted, but it all stayed on. If it shifted too far, then it would have fallen away and the print would have failed. We also lost a tiny bit of a foot. Which foot is it? It's the foot at the back there. So a tiny bit of this foot here, the end of this foot. And this was my first fail of printing in 10 or 11 prints, that was monstrously good. I can't tell you how happy I was. If you print 10 or 11 times and you don't have to clean your vat, you are a very happy chap. So this little tiny fail here on the bottom of his foot meant that I then had to clean out the vat, because this tiny bit here was stuck on my FEP. So it's quite hard to see and get to the FEP and stuff, and you have to clean it out. So I had to clean it out. But anyway, you're never going to complain if you're getting 10 off. So how big is this fella? So I'll put him here and I'll show you. This next to him is a hive tyrant for scale. He is a big dude. And we've got a Xanathrope thing. We've got this is a Biovore, and we've got some painted skittly Nids. So you can see how big this fellow was. He needed to go on 2 prints. He printed off nice enough. I think he's 500 points in the game. Looking forward to using him. Yeah, he goes on a 60mm base. That's how big he is. Yeah, it's good stuff. That's the biggest piece I've printed, obviously. And it came out relatively well. Not perfect, but good enough. Good enough. Not something you could sell. I think this is going to be a common trait. Oh, let's have a look against. Did I show you the flyers? I've got 2 of these flyer units now. So 2 of these big flying fellas. They actually came when I clipped that mad stuff that was off the middle. It actually had a hole to mount a stand in, so you can mount a stand right into him. So that's what I've done there. I've got 2 of these big fellas. Big flying fellas. And they come with 2 units of gargoyles. Now the gargoyles are very small, obviously. I could only get 1 a base. I'll put them against here. And they actually had mounts for flying stands, but I'm not mounting these things on flyers. I mean, how thick? The flying stand mount must have been 1 mil or something, or less than that. It's like, I'm not getting into this. So unfortunately, they'll just have to be like pretending to fly, but flying very low down. I think they've got little guns on them. So I've printed enough of these to have unlimited gargoyles available. I'm just going to have them on bases like that. So I'm going to leave everything out here because I'll just use this fixed camera zoom. So we've got some more. So what else have we printed off? We printed off a Dominatrix, which is as many points as that big Nid Bio Titan, but he's quite a bit smaller. He's probably a bit bigger than the flyers. If I can get all the chaff out of the way in the middle. So we've got the flyer here. We've got this Dominatrix thing here. Again, it fits on probably a 60mm base, or you go a bit smaller, but because he's the same kind of points as that Bio Titan, I want him to be on a similar size base. He'll fill up most of the real estate on a 60mm base. So I printed off these fellas. So that's the 2 flyers are 250 points each. The Bio Titan's 500. So that's the third of the list there. This Dominatrix is 500 points, and he can have other things added in to his formation, so he can be the most expensive formation. So I can have my Bio Titan running around, and it won't matter. It won't cost me any points if he gets shot and died, because the most expensive formation will be this Dominatrix formation, which, I mean, I only have to put a few units of like termagants in it because they're the same price. Anything added to this formation will make it the most expensive formation, and it will have to be killed to a man so I can make it more resilient maybe. So this is the second heavy, the Dominatrix, and then what else did we print? Tyranid Warriors. So I found some STLs on the old Thingiverse for Tyranid Warriors, and they weren't pre-supported, and they were a little bit awkward to support. And they're not the most impressively detailed. So let's get some of the other small models out. So your basic, like whatever they're called, assault swarm would be like 6 or 8 of these kind of stands and a couple of units of Tyranid Warriors. So I think the sculpting's better on the small, on these. It's not superb on the Tyranid Warriors, but they are still very small miniatures. This is a 2p piece, so about 30mm base. But with the simple paint scheme and some basing, they will look pretty effective. And these were the only ones I could find, and I had to support them myself. And you know that brings its own issues with to somebody who's a relative noob still. So we've got another stand here. I printed quite a few of these off. You get 3 per base, so I've built 4 stands, 4 formations, so I've got enough to run 2 assault squads, or assault swarms, and give them a standard zenith undercoat. So my army's getting pretty big now. It's getting to the stage where I'm sure happens a lot with the 3D printing that at some point you've got to stop printing and start painting, because as a hobby it's quite time consuming. It eats up lots of your available hobby time. So at some point you have to slow down on the printing and speed up on the painting. so next time you see these, hopefully I'll have some more painted, because I haven't really painted very many because I've been busy printing them out. But my Tyranids are coming along nicely. Hopefully you enjoyed seeing some of the heavy stuff. The Dominatrix. Let's get him nice and close up here. Dominatrix. I like this sculpt. Whoever did this has done well. So yeah, I think this will look nice painted up. And any lining will just look like part of the kind of the design of the armour, I guess, here. So yeah, that was episode 13. Tomorrow we're going to be talking about heavy skelly bobs from the Forest Dragon range.